Meghan faced strong public criticism as a royal daughter-in-law, often being accused of not understanding the royal family's hierarchy. There were suggestions that she urged Harry to distance himself from his family. In this video, we'll provide updates and analyze this situation. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. According to a royal expert, Meghan Markle returned to the US, vowing never to return to the UK because she couldn't be the center of attention. Although some urge her to go back, this expert claims the decision was Meghan's. Charles Ray, the expert, stated that Meghan chose to leave the royal family, not fully grasping its hierarchy. He said, "I don't believe she understood the royal family's pecking order. It seems she thought she could just leave for America." However, from the start, the UK didn't view her as the victim she portrayed herself to be. So she tried the same tactics in the US, but it seems Americans aren't buying her victim narrative either. To be honest, most Brits didn't even know Meghan was biracial until someone mentioned it. Meghan believed she was marrying the second in line to the throne, but she didn't truly understand what it meant to be the spare. Harry isn't really second in line. William has heirs and spares, so Harry is further down the line than Meghan thought. If she thought she would become the first Black Queen of England, she'd be disappointed. I think she's just been watching too many movies. She probably thought by marrying Harry she stood a chance of becoming queen. She's probably as clueless as Harry is. In other news, it's looking like President Trump has a good chance of winning, and if he does, Harry might leave. So he needs to sort himself out before that happens. I'm sure there was an ulterior motive in their rush to get back to the UK. It's all about money and status, because let's be real, Meghan Markle doesn't do anything unless it's for money and status. If they have to come back, I hope the palace doesn't put up with any of her nonsense. When she starts making demands and acting superior, they should put her in her place. I feel bad for the royal family. They're in a tough situation and they haven't done anything wrong, but now they're expected to welcome them back. It's unbelievable. The royal family was already very welcoming to Meghan Markle, and look how it ended. They don't owe them anything. And you know what? They shouldn't make them working members of the royal family again. That ship has sailed. Once you've crossed so many lines like they have, there's no going back. Personally, I can't stand either of them. They're always just trying to take. Meghan thought that joining the royal family would automatically elevate her to some superior status, as if everyone would just step aside and hand her the crown. Clearly, she didn't do her research, and soon enough she was put in her place, which needed to happen. Queen Elizabeth didn't abdicate in her favor or give her Windsor Castle or the crown jewels. I'm sure there were some stern words from her late majesty that set Meghan straight. Since then, Meghan has been throwing a fit. It's time for her to go back under the rock she came from. I think Meghan got off lightly because she never met the Duke of Edinburgh. In his prime, he would have known what to do with her. Let's clarify, Meghan Markle isn't a princess in her own right. She only has a title because of Harry, and that title is actually the lowest of all royal titles, which is Duchess. Her children are Prince and Princess because King Charles is their grandfather. However, their titles can't be passed on to their children if they have any, because they're only Prince and Princess by extension, not by birthright. Essentially, they were given non-hereditary titles which don't hold much weight. Meghan Markle isn't a princess. Catherine, on the other hand, is Her Royal Highness Catherine, Princess of Wales. I know this annoys Meghan, but her feelings about it don't really matter. It's clear that Meghan Markle still doesn't know her place or can't accept it. I mean, for most of us, it's not that complicated. From the moment we saw Meghan and her mother, we knew what they were all about. I remember Meghan convincing Harry to steal the Queen's nickname for their daughter. It disgusted me. But Princess Meghan, come on, get out to here. And what's next for her? Another Netflix project, fashion venture, or a bigger McMansion? Is she going to try acting again? It won't work. I understand. In many ways, the Queen's hands were tied, but I wish she had made Harry wait maybe a year or two before marrying Meghan Markle. By then, Meghan might have moved on. She wouldn't have been interested in Harry without the promise of a title. Then Harry wouldn't be in the mess he's in now. He doesn't have a country, a job, his family, or even respect from anyone. 70 amazing years on the throne and a well-deserved platinum jubilee were ruined by those two in America. During the Oprah Winfrey interview, Meghan claimed they hadn't supported the team, but that's one of her truths. Her late majesty created a team of 17 experienced royal clerks led by Samantha Cohen, but Meghan fired them because she wasn't satisfied with their work. It's infuriating. The palace provided Meghan with coaches to teach her about hierarchy, protocol, and the roles of different royal family members for the wedding. But she ignored their advice and acted recklessly. She shows no respect for protocol or traditions, and the worst part is, she's unwilling to learn. The Queen had people ready to guide Meghan, but she refused their help. So she has no one to blame for this failure but herself. It was clear early on that Meghan expected a more significant role in the royal family than just being a prince's wife down the line. Her jealousy of William and Catherine is evident, especially in the perfectly timed news and photo releases meant to overshadow their events. But Meghan Markle was never a star, so why did she think she'd be number one in the royal family? It's delusions of grandeur. Meghan gave up her best job, thinking people in the US would be impressed just because she had a title. But that didn't happen. I wonder if she regrets throwing it all away, but probably not, because in her mind, she didn't give up anything. That's the real problem here, making this whole situation a joke. America is a republic, so they don't recognize titles, showing what a social climber Meghan is. She'll do anything to climb higher. This sets a bad example for children. Meghan, do everyone a favor, stay in the US. Don't come back to Great Britain or any Commonwealth country. They don't want you there for many reasons, but being classless and tacky is probably number one. And what's with Meghan's face? I know she took a lot of emic making her body look skeletal, but what's wrong with her face? She looks awful. Let's remember Meghan said she'd hit the ground running and modernize the monarchy. But if the monarchy needs modernizing, that's the reigning monarch's job, not Meghan's as the wife of the sixth in line to the throne. She also believed they should be treated equally to William and Catherine. When she realized that couldn't happen, she made Harry leave with her. Harry should have explained how the monarchy functioned to her, although I doubt she would have listened. Even before they were officially engaged, Meghan had her agent in California look into deals for when she returned to the US. So first she had to marry Harry, then she could get a royal title for herself. But she never planned to stay in the UK long term. Meghan went to England primarily to find a husband. At around 36 years old, she couldn't find anyone in the USA or Canada who met her financial expectations, and she was likely searching for an aristocratic title. Just imagine her excitement when she snagged Harry, the perfect target. She gave him attention, whispered sweet nothings about his mother, and he was wrapped around her finger. However, she probably didn't delve too deeply into his personal finances. Actors and actresses, if they're any good, research their roles before they act. And I'm sure Meghan Markle did some research too. She knew there was a hierarchy and rules within the royal family, including internal rules and royal protocol, as well as rules set by the Constitution. I don't believe for a second that she was completely ignorant. These rules are strict. For example, if Parliament were to vote to execute the king, the execution order would be in the red boxes and the king would have to sign it. Meghan had been plotting her exit for a long time, but she thought she could still keep one foot in the door. She thought she had Harry in the palm of her hand and believed the Queen's favor towards him would lead to a relaxation of the rules. That's why she was invited to Christmas and got to ride on the Queen's private train. Seeing the crowd's adoration for her, she thought she was more popular than Catherine. She knew she was being watched. Certainly there are racists in the UK as there are worldwide, especially in the USA, where Meghan is from, and racists often make their voices heard. But Meghan made two big mistakes. First, she complained on an official trip to South Africa and lamented not being paid for it while she was in Australia. This showed her focus on money and her belief that she could have everything her way. Well, obviously that hasn't worked out for her. Now she's trying to return to the UK so she can have her cake and sell it on her new website. But that's not going to happen. This is the main topic of today's news. How do you feel about these topics? Is your opinion the same as mine? Please leave a comment below. And don't forget to support us with a like, share, and subscription to the channel. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. Please stay tuned to the King YouTube channel. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you again soon.